Hello, my name is Imelda Noble and I'm a Pilates instructor, trainer and a physiotherapist by background. Today I'm going to be working on the Align Pilates A8 Reformer. It's going to be a full body workout, a quick jump on, jump off workout. We don't need boxes or anything else. We're going to start by sitting on the foot bar and I've got one red spring loaded. Let's go. So making sure that the foot bar is firmly in place, we're just going to bring myself up to come and sit on the foot bar. We're going to be facing towards the other end of the tower. We're just going to start with a little bit of a warm up here. So I'm just going to let my sit bones settle onto the bar. And from here, we're just going to gently take a little roll down. So I'm just going to relax my head and just let my spine roll down a little bit. Always a challenge when you're sitting on the bar to stay sitting on the bar. So already a little bit of work even though we're just warming up. And we're just going to do about 4 of these. Obviously if you feel you need a little bit more, you can just take that. That's the beauty, that's your workout when you're doing it with us. And then from here, I'm just going to take a little side bend. And again, just keeping it really light, really easy, just warming up. Trying not to hit the ceiling. One more each way. From here, I'm just going to bring my arms into a folded position, or low genie as we sometimes call it. And let's just come into a rotation. And again, that feeling of just growing nice and tall. You don't have much choice when you're sat on the foot bar. One more each way. See if you can find that extra little centimetre in your ribs as you go round. Bring it back to the centre. I'm just going to give those arms a little bit of a shake. And let's now move on to a little bit of footwork. So I've just got one red spring on. These springs are quite firm on here, so I don't want too much on. I do want to stay sitting. I'm going to start with my heels on, legs parallel. And again, sitting up nice and tall, so just making sure that you've got that core switched on. You can have your hands just gently connecting into the side as you would if you were maybe sat on the chair, or you can hold on. The choice is yours. And now I'm just going to come to heels together, toes apart. And again, I'm just grounding my heels into the end of the carriage. Sitting up nice and tall, just allowing those hips to open. Nice little workout for the shin muscles as well. And then I'm going to bring it back in, and I'm going to come into a high half toe now. So again, just getting myself ready, lifting the heels and the knees to come in. It's really quite challenging in this position. This is supposed to be our warm-up. Just a few more. From here, I'm going to hold the carriage out now, and I'm going to go into my lower and lift. So again, just allowing those heels to lower. Hopefully your feet are in a little space between the springs. And then just a little run. bring that carriage in. From here, we're going to go into our tendon stretch. So again, I'm going to ground my heels into the foot bar. And I'm just going to lift my bottom into the air. And then from here, we're just going to press away. Lift to come back in. Make sure you lift your bottom high enough so you don't hit it on the foot bar. Let's just do 3 more. Bring it back in, bring your bottom back onto the foot bar. So we're going to come to sitting. We're just going to walk our feet along now towards the shoulder rests. And from here, we're going to take a little tricep dip. Press the carriage out, lift the hips up, bring yourself back in. Unfold the spine, take it down, just hit the mic, come back in. Good, and again, so you're going to just gently articulate your spine to straight, fold at the hips, press the carriage away, lift your hips to come in. Shaking already, this could be an interesting workout. Triceps, press away, come back in. Now let's reverse it. So we're going to press away in this reverse bridge position. Lower the hips, come in, use those arms to come back up. Don't think I'm going to do too many of these. Lift, good, let's do 2 more. Got to work really hard here. Try not to disappear between those shoulders. Might be a little do as I say, not as I do. Bring it back up and gently bring your bottom onto the bar. From here, I'm going to come down onto the carriage on all 4s. And let's just give ourselves a moment to get over the shock of what's just happened. And we're just going to gently come into our little spinal curl. So just articulating your spine. Tailbone through to the crown of the head. And then reversing that curl and allow your belly to lower, but just make sure that you're not crashing into that lower back. So make sure that you control the articulation, but do allow that belly to relax. And then just finding your neutral spine. Let's just do a few little pelvic circles here, or I tend to call them pelvic clocks. Again, it's always nice just to have a little bit of a regroup between the exercises, so we get a chance just to take a moment, tweak out any little bits of compression we may have made. Okay, from here we're going to come to 1 foot on the foot bar and holding your box position nice and steady, core on, stabilize through those shoulders. We're going to come into a leg press. So when you're here, just really work to get that leg really straight. Sometimes we think our legs are straight, but they're not completely straight. Three more. And let's just hold it here and just take a little dorsiflexion, plantar flexion. Bring it back in and let's go for our Superman now. So just raising an arm, press away, control it back in. So you can hear by the sound of the shakes in my voice that this isn't as easy as it may look. Now I'm on one red spring. If you turn this into a lighter spring, it's going to be easier to press away, but obviously harder to control, so you have to make your choice. Bring it back in. From here now, we're going to press away. We're going to lift the other leg up. We're going to place it back down. Bring the carriage in. And again, we're going to press away, lift, lower, back in. And again, press away, lift, lower, back in, press away, lift, lower, back in. And again, press away, lift, lower, back in. Forgot to count like all good instructors. You'd think I'd learn to count when I'm actually doing it. 2 more. Little change here, so this time as we press out, we're going to stay out. Hold everything nice and steady. See if you can press the carriage forwards, draw your arms back underneath you. Four more. Now I'm counting. With control, lower the leg down, come back in nice and gently. Bring that leg in, and maybe now you just want to take a little child's pose. And then we're going to bring it back up. Good news, bad news. One side's done, we've got the other side to do. Again, connect that foot into the foot bar. Make sure that you've got that ball of the foot grounded. You're trying to keep this thigh bone that's on the mat or the carriage as vertical as you can. Let's go here. So again, we're just going into our leg press here. One of the tendencies when we work on all fours is to start to collapse between the shoulder blades a little bit. So try and just stay nice and steady, feeling that you're lifting yourself away from the carriage rather than sinking in towards it. And again, we're looking for the alignment of this leg and really getting that full extension. Let's hold it here. And now a little plantar and dorsiflexion. Bring it in. Now we're going to come to our little plank. So we're going to press away. Lift the leg, lower the leg, bring it back in. And again, press away, lift, lower, back in. And again, press away, lift, lower, back in, press away. 4 more. I think I should have chosen 6 instead of 8. 2 more. One more, and we're just going to hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the leg down and control the speed at which you return. From there again, you may just want to take a little child's pose. Just say, well done, survive that little bit. And then just gently peel your spine all the way up. And we're going to turn ourselves around now. And we're going to face the foot bar. And I'm going to keep it on one red spring, and we're going to come into some front rowing. And I'm going to do it with my feet against the shoulder rests, starting in a seated position. Now, if you wanted to, you could just sit yourself down and cross your legs. So again, set myself nice and steady, have a quick breath. When we're ready, we're going to just start to reach into the arms and come up to your high kneeling position. With control, lower yourself back down. And again, press and reach. And again, we're wanting to keep that feeling of reaching into the straps so that we keep those nice long arms and keep the stability in the shoulder girdle. Two more. It's good to get a little bit of glutes work in at the same time. Hold it here nice and steady. Keep that feeling of your tailbone drawing down, pubic bone up, and let's come into our hugger tree. Oh, these springs are quite feisty. From here, bring yourself down. Bring your hands towards your forehead and we're going to come into our salute. So you could stay here in this position and we reach and return. Hold it for a second and then gently just circle those arms around and with control return the carriage. Placing your straps now onto the little pegs behind the shoulder rest, we're going to come into some knee pulls. So we're going to start on a higher spring and then we're going to turn those springs down. So the lower the weight of the spring, clearly the more we have to work in our core and the less of a muscle push it is. So we're going to do it straight back today. So just sit your bottom back a little bit. Feel like you're lifting your breastbone, keeping that core on. And again, just set your shoulders, or your shoulder blades rather. Feel that you're connected into the mat, into the bar, and you've got this little feeling under your armpit that you're really nice and firmly connected. From here, we're going to press away for 12. Bring it in. So now I'm going to go from my 2 red springs to 1 red, 1 blue. So it's going to feel a little bit more pleasant all round. Bring it in. I'm now going to lose the blue spring coming into 1 red. So now I'm going to have a little chat with my core and check it's going to keep me here. Keep feeling that you're nicely straight through the spine. Bring it in. Let's go for it. 1 blue spring. A lot harder work now. Not much helping me. You just need to make sure when you're doing this that you don't end up just kind of collapsing into your back and sort of letting this happen. So really try and keep that spine nice and straight so the movement is really just coming from your hip. 2 more. Bring it in. You can just let those feet come between your shoulder rests and again, just take a little child's pose here. And then maybe you can just come up and lift up through the spine. 1 more, just draw back. Bringing it up. From here, I'm going to go on to 1 red, 1 blue because these springs are quite strong and I'm not that big, but you may want a heavier spring. We're going to come into our plank and then into mountain climber. So when you're ready, you have to lift yourself up. And just make sure that your feet are comfortable. And again, that you've really got yourself connected, core up. We're going to press away, come back in. We're just trying to hold our shape the same. Now, as you come away next time, reach one leg away, and we're going to come into our mountain climber. And again, really feel like you're tucking your tailbone under as you pull that leg in. Replace that leg. Just pike yourself in, have a little stretch back. Try not to crash into the stopper like I just did. And then let's repeat on the other side. So press out into your plank position. Lift the leg. Tuck the tailbone under. Draw the leg in and across. Bring the carriage in. From here, we're going to walk our feet over one way. So we're going to keep our feet here, and we're going to bring our hands still forward facing as though they were just then. We're going to press away, and we're going to pike our hips here. Whoops, bit of control, Imelda. Hold it here. Now into some knee pulls. Pike yourself back in. Let's turn over the other way. Again, I've just planted one foot against the shoulder rest, and I'm up in that high half toe position. When you're ready, let's go. So it's a pike from the hips. Might feel really different one way to the other, so don't be surprised if one side feels easier. One more, and then into our knee pulls. That's it, good work. And again, pike it in, bring yourself back. Gently come down onto your knees. And again, if you want, let's just take a little stretch back. Oh, I've got a right old shake on. Okay, let's come from here. I'm going to stay with these springs. And we're going to come into our mermaid. So one hand on the bar. Reach our hand up and just gently press away. Bring it back up. Lower yourself down and just take your arm over the other way. And again, let's do one more. take it into our full mermaid. So just gently bring your hand around. From here, as you bring the carriage in, extend through the spine, lift the crown of the head. And then tuck your bottom under and tuck the pelvis under as you press away. Bring your back hand towards the front. Bring it back up. Float that arm down. And let's just lift and float this arm over. And bring it back. From our mermaid on this side, we're going to turn ourselves round to face the tower. Knees against the shoulder rest, and we're going to come into a little bit of abdominal work. And this is one of those exercises that does what it says on the tin. So arms are in front, holding on to the runners. We're going to tuck our tailbone under, so really the movement is coming from the lower abdominals. And you're going to draw your knees towards you and then gently uncurl. Now the danger is that you don't want to make this an arm pull or a knee pull. You really want to get that action through the pelvis. If it doesn't feel quite right on the first one, you may just need to give yourself a little bit of space between the knees and the shoulder rest. So I've stayed with one red spring, but you could take it down a little bit, or of course you could go up a little bit. Okay, let's take it into our obliques now. So you're just going to bring one hand across to the other side of the runner. So both hands are on the runner. Exactly the same movement here. Tuck that pelvis under, really curl the lower spine. Release. Maybe try and release with a little bit more control than that. You're trying not to make it a white knuckle ride, so try and make it a little bit more about the core than the arms, but obviously your arms are working and stabilizing and stopping you falling through the gap. Two more. Okay, let's go over to the other side. Set yourself. It's always okay to give yourself a little bit of time in between. Don't feel that you just have to go rushing in. Maybe you just need to change your position slightly. And release. So we're going to come now to our mermaid on the other side. So excuse me having my back to the camera for a moment, but just need to balance off. So hands just slightly in front so you sit nicely in that shoulder joint as you press away. Try and keep both sides of your bottom grounded. So you want to keep those sit bones on the carriage if you can. If not, you might need to use a little block or something just under one cheek. And again, it's about opening the top side, so you're opening those ribs. It's not about how far you lean over. We're really just wanting to just open up the side body a little bit. Let's do one more here. And again, it's your workout, so if you feel you want to do a few more than I'm doing, that's perfectly fine. And now let's just take it into our full. So from there, you're just going to rotate around. Reach your arms across so they're shoulder width apart. Lead through the crown of the head and extend the spine as you come up towards the foot bar. Gently draw the tailbone through and tuck the pelvis backwards as you press away. Bring your back hand towards your front hand. Turn onto your side. Lower your arm down and then just gently bring the other arm across. Always feels nice to stretch that way. And then from there, we're just gently going to bring it back. From here, we're going to just come off the carriage, and I'm going to go for one blue spring because I don't want it too heavy. And we're just going to come to a little bit of arm work, and we're going to start with a row. So I'm going to hold on to the rope and I'm going to just come into a lunge position so I'm nice and steady. Hinging at my hips, I'm just going to draw my elbow back and release. Try and control it. Try and learn where the end of the stopper is. And you're trying to keep your pelvis facing forward, so it really is just the arm. From here, I'm going to change my stance, so my leg that's nearest the reformer is going to be my forwards leg and my other leg is behind. And I'm going to take it with the other hand and we're going to come into, like a draw a sword, we're going to reach with our elbow and rotate. And again, you're looking to control the return of the carriage. Two more. And release. Then from here we're doing something which isn't usual, but we've got a lot of space on the reformer, so it's nice to use it from the outside as well as just always being on the carriage. So we're going to take our leg into the strap and the one that's nearest the tower, and we're going to start to come into some leg work. So standing up nice and tall, and what we're going to do from here is we're going to take a step across and then with control take a step back, step across. So you're trying not to end up flying off in the other direction. You can put your hands on your hips, you can have your arms out, so wherever you feel that you can balance the best, and you're really trying to make this as smooth as you can. So the leg that's not in the strap is working really hard to stay up. And then we're having to work the leg that's in the strap, both abduction and adduction, to control it. Now we're going to bring it in and we're going to hold it. And we're going to come into some squats. And we're trying not to let the carriage move too much. Four more to do. Two more to do. From here, we're going to keep this leg nice and still, the leg that's in the strap, and we're going to do some taps out with our other leg. So we're looking to keep the pelvis nice and still, trying to keep the rib cage balanced over the pelvis. And again, if you're feeling like you need to bring out your inner ballerina, you can bring your arms out. And from here, let's bring that leg and tap behind. The leg that's in the strap is working really hard to hold you nice and steady. From here, maybe we can do a little knee tap. And then from here, we're going to turn around now to face the foot bar end of the reformer. Adjust the strap if it feels it needs it. And again, we're going to come into our lunge position. And we're going to take a little lunge here. We're going to dip down and up. So you're trying to keep yourself as upright as you can and really using your legs to press up. That's what our legs are for, holding us up. Hold it down. Now just the back leg, pull it in and out. Again, if the strap wanders, you might just need to rearrange it. Not one for really shiny leggings, this one. Oh, try and stay balanced. And now just little pulses. From there, just gently release. You can hold on to the foot bar for a bit of balance and stability while you take your leg out of the strap. Let's stay on this side of the reformer, and I'm going to keep that blue spring on, and I'm going to add a red spring, so they're both on the same side as I'm working. Just helps with the torsion of the carriage. It's not the end of the world if you haven't got the same spring set up. And from here, we're just going to come into our thigh stretch, but we're going to add a little jump. From here, we're going to hold this position. Keep your tailbone drawing down, and we're going to come into our thigh stretch. Oh, I feel like I need it after that bit of leg work we've just been doing. Again, look that you're not collapsing into that lower back. You've got to keep that feeling of tailbone down, pubic bone up. The next time we come in, I'm just going to come into a little bit of a hamstring stretch. So I'm going to come onto the heel as I press away. So the heel of the leg that's on the floor, bring it back in. And again, press away. 2 more. One more. Bring it back in, and then just before it comes all the way, so you've still got your hip nice and open, let's just take a little side bend here. And bring it back. Okay, we've got to hop over and do the other side. So I'm going to hop over because there's not much room for me over on this side. I'm going to go back to one blue spring. And now we've got our arm work to do on this side. So we're going to start with that row. So we have one leg in front. So the opposite leg. So I've got my left hand in the strap, so it's going to be my right leg that's in front. And again, first one's always, find your place. Try and have your feet facing forwards and feel like you're drawing this thigh bone back into its socket, and try and find out where the end of the carriage and the stopper are. Maybe you need to hold further down the string. Case in point, and really control the return. So if you're not in the right place, first off, that's okay, you just rearrange yourself. And maybe learn a little bit of control. There we go, Imelda, that's better. Two more. Let's change legs. So on our rotation, you'll probably find that you need to have a little bit more string length. Again, we're coming into a lunge position. You can have your back foot facing forwards or turn to the side a little bit like in a modified warrior pose. So again, from here, ground yourself, and you're going to turn. And release. Okay, we've got the other leg to do now. So I'm going to just hold on to the shoulder rest while I put my leg in and just find my place. So again, you've got that feeling of your tailbone dropping down, pubic bone up, balancing your ribs over your pelvis. And it might feel different one side to the other. So just give it a go, see where you want to be. So you want a feeling of growing tall as you step across. Hold it here. You can have your legs narrow like mine, or you could come a little bit wider into your squats, or those of you that do yoga, a little bit like a chair pose. But we're really working hard to keep nice and still here. Bring yourself to standing. Okay, when we're ready, we're going to step out with our other leg. So again, you can bring out your ballerina. Maybe you can challenge yourself and put your hands in different places. From here, we're going to tap behind. Oh, a lot harder on this leg to hold it steady. Who's going to win, me or the carriage? Make sure you're not overextending your standing knee. And for our taps. My leg is shaking. Must be doing some good. And turn yourself around. Again, the foot bar is there if you want a little bit of help. Find yourself in your right position and let's go. So we're going into our little drop down in our lunge position. Oops. Hold it here. Reach that leg away, pull in. Again, if you need to just readjust the strap, do. From here, just a little dip up and down. Come on, legs. 4 more to do after this. Let's go. 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, that's it. Be nice to your reformer and come back in quite gently. And then again, let's bring it over. And we're going to come into our thigh stretch. So I did it on one red, one blue. So I'm going to do the same on this side. So again, tailbone down, pubic bone up. Watch that you're not collapsing through that lower back and just pressing away. Then when we're ready, we're going to add our little lift. My body was just saying, let me just do a few without the lift first. And hold. Tailbone under, leading through the crown of the head. Up you come. And then we're going to take it into a hamstring stretch too. It doesn't matter if one side of your body needs a few more reps doing something than the other side. Just listen to it. And hold it just before you come in, so you've still got a nice stretch. And just take a little side bend here. And bring it back down. Bring the carriage in, nice and gently. And that's our total body workout. Short, sweet, sharp, not very pleasant in places. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. For those of you who are interested in what I'm wearing, this is a range from Tabby through Mad Group. I'm wearing the 7th 8 trouser because my legs are quite small. They might be cropped on some of you. And it's called Stash and Dash. It's got a handy little pocket in to put your keys in. And I'm wearing the ribbed tank top.